Whimsical and romantic. Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to make this really cute and whimsical arrangement featuring a little bird cage with ceramic birds in it. I'm going to teach you how to make a spectacular floral piece with very few flowers. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Katherine Bergman. I'm a florist with over 30 years design experience, sharing all things floral with you each week. You ready? Let's get started. Now you all know I love to use props in my designs, and today I want to show you a prop that I bought a few years ago. I've used this before in a video maybe 2 years ago, but I'm going to use it differently today. So what this is a bird cage with little white ceramic birds that I purchased a few years ago at Hobby Lobby. Wasn't very expensive. Let me see if the price is on there. Not anymore, but I think it was about $30. And I'm pairing it with a white crackle glazed urn here. And what I have in here is a wreath, foam wreath right here, and a mache container turned upside down as a riser. Because if I put this in the container directly, it'll sit too low. So we have a little riser in here, a ring of floral foam, and our little bird cage little decor piece here. I love to show you things using interesting props because you can look around your house to see if you've got things already like bird cages and things and think of different ways to use it. And it's a wonderful thing to do that when you don't have a ton of flowers. Right now, the rose garden is okay. It hasn't been too hot here, but usually by late July, beginning of August, we sort of have a slump in rose production. And often when you're cutting roses from your garden to use, the stems are short. So this is an arrangement designed to use your garden roses that don't have the longest stems. Today I have cut beautiful Eden roses from my Eden climbers. A little pink spray rose called Bonica. Bonica is a landscape rose, meaning it just kind of blooms all the time and it's sort of a shrub. I also have some rice flower that I purchased. Some small heads of Annabelle hydrangeas that turned green. All my Annabelles have turned green. Most of the heads are gigantic, like this big around, but there are some small ones, and I actually find the small ones very useful. And I also have this pretty filler flower called Green Dragon. I'm just imagining like a sort of an apple green, a fresh pale green with these lush pink colors, or these sweet little pink colors. And we're just going to design very simply around this cage. And you'll see you've got a very large floral display without a lot of flowers if you invest in really nice props. I also have some greenery, but I don't think we even need to green in very much with this arrangement because there's not much foam to cover. So I'm going to start with greening in with my little tiny Annabelle hydrangeas. Cutting everything really short and just designing kind of close to the base because you don't want this to overwhelm your prop. And fortunately, my Eden climber is still doing great. I have my Floral Life QuickDip that I've been telling you guys in the last few videos about. It's a new discovery and it really, really makes your cut flowers last really long. And what I do is I put it in a little jar with a lid so I can reuse it all the time. I will link the Floral Life QuickDip in the description if you want to buy some. They do have it on Amazon. So what you do, you cut your flower and dip it for 1 to 3 seconds in QuickDip and then arrange it as you normally would. And it really, really makes a huge difference in how long your flowers last. More so than the floral preservative, I feel. Okay. I'm just kind of creating very pretty little clusters. Got some rice flower here. I love rice flower as an accent flower because it's got sort of a vintagey kind of vibe to it. Really wonderful to use with garden roses, I think. Okay, so that's what I have right here. So we're just going to continue doing sort of pretty little cluster like this all around here. And maybe I'll add a little accent flower here, a little accent rose. It almost reminds me of designing for cakes, you know, where we do these little clusters of pretty little clusters at each tier of the cake. Always trying to think of things to show you that are not difficult, but very spectacular once it's done, and where you don't have to spend a ton of money on flowers. All of us would love to have beautiful arrangements all the time in our home, but not all of us have the budget to spend a ton of money on flowers, right? So these are money-saving ways that you can enjoy flowers by having an interesting prop, just doing a little bit of flowers with it, and then you have a beautiful display, a lot of design, and not a lot of materials. Great places to find interesting things like this would be like estate sales, garage sales, home decor stores. You guys know I haunt Hobby Lobby and Home Goods all the time. So that's what we have right here. I'm going to start working on the back side here. So this larger rose is called Eden and is a climber. Definitely, if you have space for a climbing rose, this is a great one to add. It's prolific. The flowers last a long time as a cut flower. And when not a lot is blooming, the Eden climber is still blooming. So we love that, right? A long blooming, prolific rose. That's also pretty easy to grow, and it's a great cut flower. Often there are beautiful garden roses and they're not great cut flowers. I have a lot of David Austins that, you know, don't last maybe a day or two as a cut flower. Although now with my QuickDip, they may last a little longer. I also like the rice flower with the little off-white ceramic birds and with our off-white container. I think I used this once in a fall arrangement. I think that was a while ago, in 2023 maybe. You can look in the back catalogs of my videos if you want to see. And I did a totally different arrangement. I think we use sort of yellows and blues or something like that. I'll have to go back and check my own videos. Bonica is another wonderful rose to add to the garden. It blooms like a spray rose. It's almost non-stop blooming. It's prolific and disease resistant. It's a shrub rose. I saw it for sale at Heirloom Roses. Heirloom Roses is a wonderful source if you want to buy roses to grow for the garden. They come in small, like 1 quart size containers, usually 1 or 2 quart, and they're not cheap. They're $55 to $65 for a rose. They have a very, very large selection. And when you get it, you think, oh my gosh, $65 for this? But you would be surprised. Their roses are not grafted. They're grown on their own roots, and therefore they take off really quickly in the garden. And the best thing is, over the course of years, you're not going to have that awful rootstock rose come out. After a few years, if you see some weird kind of magenta red single rose on a really long stem coming out from the base of your rose, that's the rootstock. So the roses are bred for their beauty, their lasting quality, their scent, their color, petal count, all that. But then sometimes you grow a beautiful rose and it's not vigorous. And so the growers grafted onto a very, very vigorous rootstock. But when you buy grafted roses, the problem with that is in a few years, the rootstock starts growing. And if you don't cut it out, it could take over the rose because it's more vigorous than the rose that you purchased. So I now try to buy almost exclusively own root roses. So heirloom roses is one that grows almost all the roses, or maybe all the roses, on its own roots. So they're propagated from cuttings and not grafted onto a vigorous rootstock. And they have, as their name says, heirloom roses. They have a lot of beautiful, different old-fashioned roses, some roses that are hard to find. This year, in the winter, I'm going to buy Super Dorothy to grow. I saw it at the Portland Rose Garden a few years ago, and I've been wanting that rose. It's we'll see how it does. It's a climbing rose that has these clusters of little roses. The roses are about this size, maybe even a little smaller and hot pink, but they grow in clusters, almost like wisteria. And it's a very vigorous rose. And it's an old-fashioned rose. So that's one that I've been eyeing to buy for next year. I re-landscaped my front yard this year because we had a pool put in. And in the process of them digging the pool, you know, they have to bring the digger in and out 1,000 times. So the whole front yard was destroyed. But it's kind of exciting because I get to, you know, buy new things. So I haven't decided what to grow yet. I know I'm going to add a dogwood because I love dogwood. So I'm going to add maybe a small dogwood tree. And then I might add some seafoam roses and maybe bonica, just some kind of landscape roses maybe in front, just so that it's not high maintenance. And also I want it to look nice all the time. Whereas if I grew more, you know, roses that just bloom beautifully in the spring and then sporadically come back, then most of the year the front yard would not be in bloom. So I'm looking for things that will bloom long and stay kind of small. I already planted a boxwood hedge. So what I envision is sort of a boxed-in garden with a boxwood edge, and we have boxwood cones at sort of focal points, kind of marking the different parts of the square that we made in the front. I don't have a big front yard. I'll keep you posted, and maybe I'll bring you out in the garden next spring to show you what I've done. Okay, so I think I'm done with most of the flowers. Now I'm just thinking I should add a little bit of accent so that doesn't look so tight. Although in this arrangement, I don't want a lot of stuff coming out. I just want to keep it sort of compact because the flowers are only part of this arrangement, right? This green dragon's very pretty. I just thought, oh, I have the green hydrangeas, so I could do a green little accent flower in addition to the rice flower. And it's just an interesting little texture, and it's kind of neutral. And this lasts really long. So I bought a bunch of this, and it'll probably last me through many arrangements. Yeah, definitely give this QuickDip a try. It's really a game changer for me. I was not a believer, but I am now. For those of you who watch me every week, I've been talking about this for the last month or so because it's a new discovery to me, and it's really, really amazing. Can't believe I went 30 years without using it. Well, you know, in my career, we designed events, so lasting quality was not a big thing for us. Not that we wanted it to wilt, but our problem was getting things to open and be at its prime, you know, on Saturday or Sunday when we have weddings and events. So many a day where I take buckets of roses out into the sun to get them to open bigger so that they would be at their most glorious for the wedding. Okay, don't want to go too high on this so that it covers our bird cage. But a few sprigs here and there that's a little higher would kind of incorporate your bird cage with your flowers. So yeah, I'm using one stem of this, cutting little bracts of it off. So a little goes a long way with this green dragon. Now I'm just going to add a little bit to the edges so that you have a little bit of something coming down. Another reason to have these fun props around is sometimes, you have a party coming up that you weren't expecting. Then you could throw together something really spectacular with just some flowers you buy from the grocery store even. Okay, I think one stem of this green dragon that's all we need. I don't want to overwhelm this with lots of that greenery. Okay. I'm going to stand back and kind of assess the arrangement, see if we needed to add any more to this. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty balanced. And you don't need everything to look exactly the same. Just think of it in sections. If each section is beautiful, then I think your job is done. I think each section of this is very beautiful. I could add a stem here. It's kind of like designing a candle ring. Same type of design concept. I think we're all done. This is very romantic. It's kind of a perfect centerpiece for if you're doing a bridal shower, and just a beautiful thing to have in your home without a lot of effort if you collect some interesting props. So that was fun and easy, and we didn't use a lot of material. So go out there to estate sales, garage sales, auctions, home goods, wherever, and look for interesting pieces to collect so you can make a spectacular arrangement without a lot of flowers. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this arrangement and learned something today. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe and click the little bell to be notified when I put out a new video. For those of you who watch me every week, I love you guys and thank you. Leave me a comment to let me know what you've been doing. I've been bad about answering your comments the last few weeks because I've been on vacation, but I'm back and I'm going to be reading your comments. So until next time, go out there and buy yourself a beautiful bunch of flowers and play. Flowers are nature's little luxury. And I will see you in my next video.